The Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Diego Castro. More Filipinos are returning to Metro Manila today after spending the long Holy Week break in the provinces. The Manila International Airport Authority reports that there were no congestion at the four terminals of NAIA during the Holy Week, citing high on-time performance. The MIAA has yet to release official figures on passenger count this Holy Week. But according to their latest update, almost 600,000 passengers were recorded from April 1 to 5. Some 1.2 million passengers were initially expected to pass through the country's main gateway this Holy Week. Also, with the reopening of borders, the NAIA reports that passenger tally more than doubled in the first quarter at 10.8 million. That's a 158% increase from over 4.2 million passengers that traveled through NAIA in the first 3 months of last year. The Philippine Coast Guard, meanwhile, reports that over 130,000 passengers flocked to different ports across the country on Easter Sunday. From 6 a.m. to 12 noon yesterday, the PCG logged over 74,000 outbound passengers and some 59,000 inbound passengers in ports nationwide. And from midnight to 6 a.m. today, the Coast Guard monitored more than 14,000 outbound passengers and some 17,000 inbound passengers. Almost 2,800 frontline personnel have been deployed by the PCG to inspect vessels and motor bangkas. District stations and substations of the Coast Guard were placed on heightened alert to manage the expected influx of passengers during the Holy Week. With more people expected to travel back to Manila from their Holy Week breaks, motorists may be greeted by a possible oil price hike. In a forecast by UniOil, gasoline prices are expected to increase by up to 2 pesos and 80 centavos per liter on Tuesday, April 11. Prices of diesel, on the other hand, may climb up to 1 peso and 70 centavos per liter. The forecasted price adjustments will be the second consecutive week of increases for both petroleum products should they push through. The forecast also comes after Saudi Arabia and other OPEC Plus producers announced reductions in their oil production by over 1 million barrels per day. Some families chose to spend their Easter Sunday along the Manila Bay. Here's the report.
The shores of Manila Bay become an instant beach on Easter Sunday. Despite warnings not to swim, some people couldn't help but splash themselves in the water.
Malamig, masarap. Nakatanggal ang init.
Many of them even brought their own swimming gears. Aside from enjoying the waters of Manila Bay, some people harvested mussels or tahong.
Ang gagawin mo namin sa tahong, sir, pulutan yan. Siyempre, sir, masarap yan. Napakasarap niyan, sobra.
But eventually, they were shooed back to the shore.
Ahon na kayo, ahon! Magagalit na yung bawal kasi dito sa Manila Bay.
Authorities are concerned over health hazards and the safety of people, especially children.
Wala namang designated na lifeguard dito para bantayan sila habang naliligo sila.
Many families also chose to cap off their Holy Week at the area of the Dolomite Beach.
And it's our first time dito sa Dolomite. And yun nga, hindi rin namin na-expect na ganito na sobrang laki na ng changes. Kasi dumayo kami ng Manila. So para naman ibang ambience naman. So from bundok to Manila naman kami.
Yes po, super enjoy. And it is very fulfilling po talaga na makapunta po dito sa Manila at saka makapasyal-pasyal po dito, especially po dito kasi matagal ko na po gusto makapunta dito eh.
Authorities said around 10,000 people went to the Dolomite Beach on Sunday. Over at the Paseco Beach, it was a different scene. No person was seen swimming at the usual spot for many residents every Easter Sunday.
We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Diego Castro. The death toll from a fire that hit a ferry of Basilan rose to 32 as search and retrieval operations continued during the Holy Week. The latest cadaver was retrieved by the PCG over the weekend after it was found floating in the vicinity waters of Langas Island. The victim was identified as Alces Hassan, a missing passenger from MV Lady Mary Joy 3. Authorities are still searching for the last missing passenger of the vessel. MV Lady Mary Joy 3 was carrying more than 200 passengers from Zamboanga to Sulu when it caught fire off Basilan in the late hours of March 29. Heads up to Filipinos traveling back to their homes after the Holy Week break. A low-pressure area has been spotted within the Philippine area of responsibility early this morning. As of 3 a.m., Pag-asa says the LPA was estimated at 905 kilometers east of Mindanao. The State Weather Bureau is not ruling out the possibility of this intensifying into a tropical cyclone. If this happens, it could be the first storm to hit the Philippines this year, and it will be named Amang. Today, the trough of the LPA is expected to bring rains over eastern Visayas and Caraga region.
Maging bagyo man o hindi, itong low pressure area na ito ay inaasahan natin posibleng maka-apekto ito dito sa may bahagi ho ng Eastern Visayas at gayon din dito sa may bahagi ng Southern Luzon. Maaari pa itong dumikit sa may bahagi ho ng Quezon Aurora area. So patuloy pa rin natin itong imo-monitor.
Other parts of the country will meanwhile be affected by the northeasterly surface wind flow, which can cause scattered rain showers and thunderstorms. Affected areas include parts of Luzon, the western portion of Visayas, and some areas in Mindanao. And those are the top stories of the hour. Join us again at 9:45 a.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. I'm Diego Castro. We are One News. All sides, all the time.